8, avoid air travel where alternative options exist. Reducing business flights can quickly ease pressure on jet fuel markets. Of course, the suppression of movement and travel is absolutely on this cult agenda wish list. Number 9, where possible, switch to other modern cooking solutions. Encouraging electric cooking and other modern options can reduce reliance on LPG. And 10, leverage flexibility with petrochemical feedstocks and implement short-term efficiency and maintenance measures. Industry can help free up LPG for essential uses while reducing oil consumption through quick operational improvements. So when you look at a society, the way it functions is overwhelmingly, its whole foundation is on energy use, energy supply. You reduce the energy supply, everything is affected. Everything's affected in price because everything needs moving, but everything's also affected in multiple ways because of what oil is used for, not just vehicle fuel. So some countries are already starting to run short of fuel and energy, including Australia. And this is a report on what's happening there.
The national fuel crisis is ramping up on price and supply. Diesel is selling for around $3 a litre and more. That's up more than $1 on a month ago, and petrol prices likewise are up around $1 a litre. That's a hell of a hit to commuters, adding $50 or more for a tank of fuel. And for farmers, industry and transport companies, this is a massive spike that's crippling them and pushing prices up across industry and in supermarkets. That's bad news for inflation, which edged down from 3.8 to 3.7% today, but that was based largely on last month's low fuel prices. So those numbers are already out of date and blown to smithereens. An inflation spike is on the way. Petrol prices are really starting to hit home in the economy and with working families, and they're fueling anger too.
They need to stop the excise now, not next week, not next month. 2 weeks ago, it cost me $1,500 to fill this truck up. Today, it's $4,500.
I went to a 7-Eleven. There was no diesel at all.
I'm a farmer. I'm here in Griffith. We're going through our grape harvest. All this BS, they want to do this, they want to do that. All they've got to do is drop their excise until this bloody thing's over.
And fuel shortages are also starting to spread, with 187 petrol stations running out of diesel in New South Wales and 32 of them with no fuel at all.
And of course, it's not just fuel that's affected, as I was saying. Here's another story. Hormuz fertilizer block will upend world's food production. The Strait of Hormuz is 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. 25% of the world's traded oil passes through it. Everyone has been focused on that, but the strait also carries the fertilizer components that underpin roughly half the world's food supply. And Iran has, in effect, closed it in response to the US-Israeli strikes on its territory during the 4-week window when farmers in the Northern Hemisphere apply nitrogen to their crops. I wonder if that's a coincidence. Gulf states account for 49% of globally traded urea and 30% of ammonia, perishable contributors to the nitrogen cycle that makes high-yield agriculture possible. When that supply chain stops, the effects accumulate quietly in soil chemistry and planting decisions over the months that follow. Corn planting estimates are already being revised down as farmers rotate towards soybeans, which don't require added nitrogen. That rotation locks in yield losses before a single seed goes into the ground. Now add Ukraine. Before the first strike on Iran, the global food system was already running on reduced redundancy. Ukraine and Russia still represent about a quarter of the global wheat trade. And some 400 million people across the Middle East and East Africa and have been absorbing that supply shock for 3 years. The Hormuz closure isn't breaking a healthy system, it's breaking one that was already compromised. And another line in this article, the Horn of Africa is already on the edge of famine. This pushes it over. The mayhem, the global mayhem, that what is happening in Iran and the Middle East is having the potential to generate is potentially catastrophic. But it gives the global cult and that non-human level that controls it everything it wants. And this is an important point where you can look at what's happening in the human world of the mainstream media and the alternative media or whatever, and it seems to look a certain way. And it seems to be sort of catastrophic, as I say. And it's like Trump, well, he's got us into this trouble, and Netanyahu's got us into this trouble, and is Iran winning or whatever? And look at what the effects are on the world and all that stuff. And that's all happening in the world of human awareness. But if you go to that level, what's happening is exactly what it wants: to trash the old system it created, so the new system of AI, human fusion and absolute control can take its place. And so it's playing out as it wants it to play out. And if you don't know that level exists, you can write it off as incompetence or just psychopathy. Well, it is psychopathy, but you can write it off and explain it away in if you like, in human terms, when actually it's beyond the world of human that it's all coming from. And lest we forget, and if you're looking for the effects of the loss of energy supplies, look at Cuba. Cuba is going dark under US pressure. The Trump regime has shut down Cuba. How the crisis unfolded and why its troubles are far from over. Almost 3 months after the US effectively imposed an oil blockade on Cuba, this was all connected to the situation in Venezuela, that worsened its energy crunch. Nearly every aspect of Cuban society has been feeling the strain. Well, watch globally if this goes on. Trash has been piling up on the streets of the capital. Hospital stays and surgeries are being limited. People are using wood fires to heat water, and blackouts have become commonplace. Here's a report on what's happening there.
Engulfed in darkness, Havana's residents rely on the headlights of vehicles to make out the city's streets. It is Cuba's third major power outage this month, as Trump's blockade on energy imports to the island continued to put strain on the lives of citizens. In the country's capital, residents share their exasperation.
We're stuck in the same rut, twice a week cooking with firewood. It's absolute madness. Solution is unlikely. We've been stuck in the same situation for 60 years.
20 tons of humanitarian aid arrived in Havana on Friday, including sorely needed medical supplies, food, water, and solar panels. But with no oil imports entering the country since early January, The aid is a drop in the ocean in comparison to the country's needs. Fears of a potential US invasion of Cuba are mounting. Earlier in the week, Trump said he believed he would have the honor of taking the island. In response, President Miguel Díaz-Canel said the island will be prepared to defend itself.
We recognize that there may be an aggression on Cuba, and we have launched a plan to enhance our readiness to defend our people. It involves defending the country with the participation and preparedness of the entire people.
Meanwhile, energy shortages continue to disrupt the lives of Cubans. The country's energy minister has said work is underway to restore power, but Saturday's blackout is unlikely to be the island's last.
No. There's no way we are gonna really sit back and let these psychopaths pull off this again. Another lockdown, another mask up, another juke all over, booster. Come on, people of this world. You can't really tell me say when I really allow this to take place again. No, sir. This can't be real, people. This must be a dream. This must. But this must be a dream. This can't be reality. Wow. And this whole antivirus thing, people, just bring flashback, Because me remember when the whole big C thing kick off. Like, me and I'm bridging alone. Like, are we alone, people, in my community? In a one part, people. It's like, are we alone? They just say, yo, this thing not real, This thing not look that, This thing not look, look legitimate. No, sir. And we see, like, most of the world people, get sold, get bought, and say, yeah, this is it. This is a serious thing. Gonna take this serious. But not us. Not us, people. So, me really wonder if we really are gonna make this happen again. That me really wonder if this this can't be real. This can't be real. Me wonder people if we really are gonna allow this really again. No, sir, they can't pull off this again. Can't pull off this again, yo. Lockdown. Being restricted. Can't go there, so can't go here, so no, sir. Yo. I'm saying people really are gonna sit down, people, and make this happen again. This whole crazy agenda by psychopaths. No, sir. Can't be real, people. This cannot take place again. But Hunter, and I see me up again, another cruise ship again. This playbook has been used already, yo. People may never laugh because I find it funny or not like that, but it's just ridiculous that this really got again. This can't happen, people. Because we see most people call it out already, which is a good thing. That's really a good thing, so probably that's a good sign, yo. But will the majority follow all these restrictions, so all guidelines and health, safety? Let's see, people. It's crazy times ahead. That's all I can say. Crazy times ahead.